after 70 days being held captive, begging for your life, and then being killed by your own country is just unbearable.
3 Israeli hostages, shirtless and carrying a makeshift white flag on a stick. They were calling for help, but they were shot dead by Israeli soldiers in northern Gaza, who mistook them for Palestinians.
And the soldiers responsible, have they been taken out of service?
We are, first of all, supporting these soldiers in every way possible. First of all, I can tell you we're going to hug them.
The incident has cast a glaring light on the troubling dynamics surrounding the Israeli army's seemingly unrestrained and disproportionate use of lethal force against Palestinians, even in instances where the absence of danger is palpable.
All 3 of them were shirtless, with one of the figures carrying a stick with a makeshift white flag. The soldier believed that the men moving towards him was an attempt by Hamas to lure the IDF into a trap, so he immediately opened fire and shouted terrorists to his other forces nearby.
Under international law, it is prohibited to shoot anyone raising a white flag.
It was a terrible and tragic mistake.
A tragic mistake, the IDF says, but many critics question whether the incident would have elicited the same reaction from the Israeli military had those killed been innocent Palestinian civilians. Not only does this come against the backdrop of a relentless Israeli bombing campaign and war on the besieged Gaza Strip, which has in just 2 months claimed the lives of up to 20,000 Palestinians, the majority of whom are women and children, but it is also reminiscent of past cases of prevalent unchecked violence within the Israeli army. 2 weeks before the IDF's shooting of the 3 hostages, an Israeli citizen in Jerusalem was also shot dead after he was mistaken for a Palestinian gunman. Yuval Kasselman had opened fire on attackers at a Jerusalem bus stop before dropping his weapon and raising his hands over his head in clear surrender. Kasselman was fatally shot by an off-duty reserve Israeli soldier who had assumed he was Palestinian. Human rights organizations, including Israel's own B'Tselem, have established a troubling pattern where individuals that are Palestinian or assumed to be Palestinian are targeted with lethal force without necessarily posing a direct threat. Many of the incidents have been described as executions. The absence of repercussions or meaningful investigation into such incidents, rights groups warn, has led to a culture of impunity and pervasive unchecked violence when it comes to Palestinians.